Good afternoon, students. So I once again welcome you all for the fifth session of Professional Ethics and Indian Constitution. So in the last class, we have discussed about virtues and different types of virtues. Is it clear? Yes. And in today's class, we are going to discuss the following topics: respect for others, living peacefully, caring, and sharing. These are the four topics for the today's session. So respect for others, living peacefully. What do you mean by caring and sharing? It's fine. Fine. First one is respect for others. What do you mean by respect for others? This is one of the principles we commonly follow that we respect our parents, we respect our elders, we respect our teachers, we respect our senior people, whoever they are. That is what we call respect. Yes, we respect. This is a common principle we practice in everybody's daily life. So this is a basic requirement for nurturing friendship, teamwork, and for the synergy to it promotes and sustains what I call it. So this is basic. So not only for elders or parents or teachers, you should respect your friends also if they are of the same group. So your friend, if you respect your friend will also respect you. If you ignore, he or she also will ignore. That's what. So you should respect for everybody there, whoever they may be. Yes. So you are living with the surrounding, maybe your neighbors. Respect your neighbors there. They may be a friend, or love your children, a neighbor, or your children, your brothers or sisters, whatever it is. So always when you give respect, others will also respect you then. So this is a basic requirement for nurturing friendship, teamwork, and for the synergy it promotes and sustains what you call. The principles involved in this or initiated in this regard are, what is that? Recognize and accept the existence of other persons as human beings because they have a right to live. So why? Everyone has got to right to live. So give the respect to them. He or she may be of a different religion, different caste, black, white, or she may be different, speaking maybe from different state, or she may be speaking a different language, whatever it is. So give respect to them there. Why? Because everyone has got right to. You cannot say that you don't live here. You are from Tamil Nadu, go to Tamil Nadu. No. You are from Kerala. No, go to Kerala. No. Everyone has got to live wherever they are. So you should respect to them. So that is the nature there. So wherever you're living in the surrounding, you should respect your neighbors, respect your parents, respect your friends, respect your teachers, wherever in the college, for example. Yes, fine. That is one point. So recognize and accept the existence of other persons as human beings because they have right to live. Everyone has got to, you are living, we are living, others are living. Live and let live. That is what we call. Yes. So live and then you also live and you live, others also to live. Yes. Respect others, ideas, words, and labor, whoever they are. Respect their ideas, respect their words, and whatever it is. He or she is a labor, respect them also. Whatever the work they do, they're all human beings there. We should respect them. One need not accept or approve or award them, but shall listen to them first. Don't directly ignore them. Whatever, whoever may be there, he or she, he may be a small labor or a worker. First listen to them, then you tell whatever you want to them. Yes, whatever they are. So everyone is human being. One may be a doctor. Everyone cannot become a doctor. Everyone cannot become an engineer. Everyone cannot become a president. Everyone cannot become a MLA. Everyone or politician. Everyone cannot become an advocate. So there are different types of people are there. Some people are professionals, like carpenters are there. Then there are tailors are there. So we need to have different types of people there. So we should respect everyone. Some people are there, they're cleaning the garbage. If they are not there, if the people who do not clean garbage, what happens? You cannot live for, if they do not come for 2 to 3 days, definitely you cannot live in your house itself because your house becomes so dirty, or your dust or waste gets sinking there. So think about them. They are also human beings. They are taking our waste every day. The people who are working in BBMP, the waste management and all, they are also human beings. Respect them. If they do not come, then what happens? After, if the what you call the BBMP, the waste department, if they doesn't clean the city, then within 1 week you cannot live in Bangalore. It happens such a way that. So don't discourage or disregard anybody. They are all human beings. First, we are all human beings, whatever they may be there. He may be a helper, he may be a vendor, he may be a shoemaker, he may be a tailor, he may be a carpenter. We need them, all these people. We cannot live without them. Suppose your shoe is, there's a problem with the shoe or slippers, you need to go to a shoemaker there. Yes, something like that. Or you want to stitch your clothes, you need a tailor. You want to get a what do you call a milk, you need to go to a milk parlor or a grocery shop somewhere. All these are, they are all human beings. You respect them, whatever they are first. Yes, all cannot be professionals. That's what. So we need to accept or approve or award them, but shall listen to them first. What is fine. So this, that is what the first respect for others you can call. It's fine. Next slide. Then appreciate colleagues and subordinates on their positive actions. Criticize constructively and encourage them. What you can call. Appreciate your colleagues. Who are your colleagues? The people who are working with you in our college. We all are having so many members are the staff. Yes, like that. So they are, we call them as a colleagues. What do you call? We are all colleagues. Yes, fine. Next, then and a subordinate. Some people, you are a lecturer, principal under subordinate, all the staff are there. HOD is there. Under HOD, other staff are there. Below that staff, some office staff are there. So they are all some of the people above you and below you. So below you, we call them as a subordinate. So encourage, support them. Yes, respect the subordinates, whatever it is. And if something they might have done wrong also, so give them suggestions or guide them. Don't, what you can call, scold them or tell you are unable to do the work. Criticize constructively and encourage them. We are all human beings. Nobody is perfect in this world. So there is a chance that everybody may do a mistake. Yes, so whenever if you do mistake, so ask them to rectify that mistake. It happens. Some mistakes usually don't happen intentionally. Sometimes unknowingly also we do some mistakes there. So we need to rectify those mistakes. What it is, criticize constructively and encourage them. They are bound to improve their performance by learning properly and by putting more efforts. So if they are not doing the work properly, guide them how to do it. Yes, tell them what to do it. If they have done it wrong, so no, this is not the way of doing it. Do it another way. Tell them how to do it. And then what happens as you tell them, so they will realize that there is some mistake in their work, or they have done some mistake in their part. So they will rectify in the next time whatever you do. That is how we call this as the respect for others. What you can call this. Fine. Yes. Somebody read these points. Respect for others. Slide 1.
Recognize and accept the existence of other persons as human beings because they have a right to live.
Yes, that is the first point. Next.
Respect others' ideas, words, and labor. One need not to accept or approve or award them, but shall listen to them first.
Next slide. Continue.
Appreciate colleagues and subordinates on their positive actions, criticize constructively and encourage them. They are bound to improve their performance by learning properly and by putting more efforts.
Yeah. So by criticizing constructively, so they will rectify their mistakes and they will overcome their mistakes by putting more efforts. Yes, fine. That is yes, fine. Next one, third point. Show goodwill on others. Goodwill. What do you mean show goodwill on? Love others and allow others to grow. Don't be what you can call there should not be an ego problem or what you can call rivalry. Yes. So if somebody is doing well, so don't get hate to others. Don't hate others. She or he is doing well. So allow others and allow others to grow. So if they are doing well, they are putting their efforts and they are doing well. So you also can do that. Yes. No, you also do well, put efforts, and you can also compete with. Yes, allow others to, you grow yourself. If you are unable to grow, allow others to grow. The goodwill reflects on the originator and multiplies itself on everybody. So if you have goodwill, what happens? If you are doing good, and if you are doing good, it will multiply itself and it will have impact on everybody. What it multiplies itself on everybody. What you call? They will facilitate collinearity, focus, coherence, and strength to achieve the goals. So this good will help you to focus, coherence, and strength to achieve the goals. So always show goodwill on others, love others, and allow others to grow. The goodwill reflects on the person who is having goodwill. It will help him, and it will help others also to multiply it on everybody. Yes, this will facilitate what? Goodwill will facilitate collinearity, focus, coherence, and strength to achieve these goals. Yes, read this point. Somebody?
Show goodwill on others, love others, allow others to grow. The goodwill reflects on the originator and multiplies itself on everybody. This will facilitate collinearity, focus, coherence, and strength to achieve the goals.
Fine. That is what. So that is about the first topic, that is respect for others. Now we'll come to the next topic, is living peacefully. What do you mean by living peacefully there? Yes, living peacefully. Living peacefully is nothing. See, we are living peacefully. We are not fighting with others or not destroying any properties, government property or your property or any other property. Yes, that is what. Living, to live peacefully, one should install peace within. First of all, we say that charity begins at home. If you want to live peacefully, first of all, you live peacefully. Then you can allow others also to live peacefully. You can tell. Yes, what is charity begins at home. So any good work, instead of telling others, first you do it. Then if you do it, others will follow you. Then you can tell it. So whatever you are telling, first of all, you are telling first you do yourself. If you do and then you tell others, it will be more effective. And if you are not doing and you are telling others to tell, so what others will tell? First you do it, then we will do it. So first what you do, whenever you are telling others, first you do the things, then you tell that. It will have more impact. So they cannot say that you are not doing it. So first of all, so because of that we say charity begins at home. So whatever you want to tell others, first you do yourself. Then you can tell. That will have more impact. That's what we call. So charity begins at home, what you can call. Next, then one can spread peace to family, organization where one is working, and then to the world, including the environment. So where we can live peacefully, first of all, the peaceful life begins at home, with your family, with your parents, with your children, with your spouse, and so on. Then next, almost all are working. Yes, everybody has to work. So then 1/3 of our life, 8 hours, we are spending in a, what do you call, office or workplace. So that is where we are working, wherever you are working. And remaining is then to the world and then to the environment, what you can call. Yes, that is what. Yes, so we can spread the peace first to family, then the organization, whichever company or whichever office or whichever shop or whichever mall we are working there, and then to the world, which is a part of every, what you call, the work is a part of the world, and then including to the environment also there. Yes, only who are at peace can spread peace. Yes, the persons who are peaceful, they only can spread peaceful. If you are not peaceful, can you spread peace to others? No, it's not possible. Yes, first of all, you should be peaceful, then only you can spread the peace. Next, you cannot gift an article which you do not possess. See, suppose you want to give something, you want to give a gift to somebody else. When can you give a gift to somebody? If you have, then only you can give it. So same thing here also. If you have peace, then only you can spread peace. That's what we say. That's what. So you cannot gift an article which you do not possess. You want to give a gift to your friend on a birthday, for example, but you're not having anything. So can you give the gift? No, you cannot give it. That's what. The essence of Oriental philosophy is that one should not fight for peace. So for you, you say that we want peace. So to attain peace or to obtain peace, you should not fight. Yes. War or peace can be won only by peace and not by wars. Even a war can be won by peace, by making a peace treaty or by making an understanding. You can avoid war. War is a very, very dangerous, what you can call, because so many people will be losing their lives when a war is happening there. So war can be avoided with the help of peace, by making treaties, by making understanding. That is one way of avoiding wars, which will create a havoc. So many people will be losing their lives. So wars also can be avoided by having peace. What you can call. Yes, fine. Yes, somebody read this point. All these points. Living peacefully.
To live peacefully, one should start install peace within. Charity begins at home. Then one can spread peace to family, organization where one works, and then to the world, including the environment. Only who are at peace can spread peace. You cannot gift an article which you do not possess. The essence of Oriental philosophy is that one should not fight for peace. War or peace can be won only by peace, not by wars.
Yes, fine. That is about your living peacefully. Next we'll continue. What is? One should adopt the following means to live peacefully in the world. So there are steps are there. What we to live peacefully, what we should do? So first point is nurture. What is nurture? Order in one's life, that is self-regulation, discipline, and duty. You are bound to follow all this. You should be disciplined. You should be duty conscious. So you're working. So you come to the office regularly and do your job. Discipline. Follow there's some proper timings are there. Yes, like for example 9 to 5, whatever it is. You follow your college timings. You follow your class timings. You follow your lab timings. Whatever it is. And self-regulation. There should be some definite order. Your life should not be and randomized. It should be some proper schedule should be there for everything. Whatever you're doing, whenever you're doing, there should be a proper schedule for everything. So that is what we call nurture. Order in one's life, that is self-regulation, discipline, and duty. Yes, that's one. Next. Pure thoughts in one's soul. What is that? Your thoughts should be clear, loving others, helping others, or blessing others, friendly, and not criticizing or hurting others by thought, word, or deed. So don't criticize or hurt others. Maybe you may be hurt physically also, you may hurt mentally also, or you may hurt by by speech also. So avoid all such type of criticizing or hurting others by thought, word, or deed. So keep your ideas clean. Pure, have your thoughts clean. You don't want to hurt somebody else, maybe your thought or your action or whatever. Yes, pure thoughts in one's soul. What are the pure thoughts? Loving others, blessing others, friendly, and not criticizing or hurting others by thought, word, or deed. Next, creativity in one's head, useful and constructive. So you should have new ideas. Creativity. You should have new solutions for the particular problem. Find out the best solution. Find out the optimal solution. For one problem, there will be many solutions is there. Yes. So find out the what you call useful and constructive solutions there. Yes. Beauty in one's heart. What is that beauty? Love, service, happiness. Yes. Yes. Service, happiness, and peace we can call. So beauty in one's heart. So these are all, we should adopt the following means to live peacefully, nurture or develop all these things. Order in one's life, pure thoughts in one's soul, creativity in one's head, and beauty in one's heart. If you follow all these steps, then you can live with peacefully. Yes, somebody read this? Read this point, nurture.
Order in one's life, self-regulation, discipline, and duty. Poor thought in one's soul, loving others, blessing others, others friendly, and not criticizing or hurting other by thought, word, or deed. Creativity in one's head, useful and constructive. Beauty in one's heart, love, service, happiness, and peace.
Yes, that is about what you can call nurturing, living peacefully, nurturing. Next, we'll see. Next, again, there are some other steps. What we should get to live peacefully, you should be healthy first of all. Get good health or body, physical strength. If you are healthy, then only you can live peacefully. If you are weak, you cannot get peacefully. You cannot live peacefully. That is the second step. Third point, act. What we should do to live peacefully? The nurture are the 4 points we have discussed. Now next is to live peacefully, you should be healthy. What do you call? Next, act. What do you mean by act? Help the needy with head, heart, and hands. Charity, helping others with the head, heart, and hands. Service to the poor is considered holier than the service to the God. Yes, the people who are in need, you should help them. What do you call? Not hurting and torturing others either physically, verbally, or mentally. What do you call? So not hurting others, maybe physical, you should not hit somebody, or you should not scold somebody verbally or mentally. So these are the things we should act. What you call. So these are the points we need to follow to live peacefully. What do you call? Some other points. Yes, fine. The following are the factors that promote living with internal and external peace. So some of the points are that we need to follow to live with internal as well as external peace. What is that? Conducive environment, safe, ventilated, illuminated, the place where you are living. It should be good space, yes, safety should be there, proper ventilation should be there, light should be there, and should be comfortable. Yes, fine. Next, your job. If your job is secured enough, what do you call? Yes, if your job is secured enough, that has happened only in the case of government jobs. Usually, government jobs, it is secured and motivated with recognition, reward. You can live peacefully. They are giving promotions. They are giving good salaries. They are rewarding it. They are awarding it. Recognition is there, and so on. Then you can live peacefully. Next. Absence of threat or tension by pressure due to limitations of money or time. Sometimes you'll be frustrated. You require money. You're not having money. You're having less money. Your salary is very less, but you're having a lot of commitments. Pressure is there. So then that also happens. If there is such absence is not there, pressure is not there on money, then you can live peacefully. Absence of threat or tension by pressure due to limitations of money. So you're having less money. If what you call such pressure is not there. If you are not having any pressure of money, then you can live peacefully, what you call that. Yes, fine. Some other factors. Absence of threat, that's over. Absence of unnecessary interference or disturbance except as guidelines. Sometimes you simply involve in somebody else's life. Simply you will interfere unwantedly. It will create a pressure. Then there should not be such interference. If you're not interfering with anybody's life, then you can live happily or peacefully, you can call. Then healthy labor relations and family situations. Yes, so you have good relations with everybody, maybe with your labor or the employees or employer and with the family, then you can live peacefully, what you call. Next, service to the needy, physically and mentally challenged with love and sympathy. Some people are physically challenged and they are mentally challenged. Try to help them in whatever the best way is possible from you there. It may be in, with the money or with maybe time, you can spend some time or you can provide some medicine in whatever way it's possible to you. That's fine. That is about living peacefully, you can call. Yes. So these are the things what we discussed about living peacefully. Next, we are coming to the next topic is caring. What do you mean by caring? Caring is nothing but feel for others. You care. You care your sister, you care your parents, you care your pets, you care your friends. Caring is nothing but feeling for your friends. It is a process. It exhibits the interest in and support for the welfare of others with fairness, impartiality, and justice in all activities among the employees in the context of professional ethics. So you feel for others. If your friend is not well, so immediately what you go with her, ask him or her what's happening, and if possible you try to help. Why you are doing that? That is what you call caring, we can call. It includes showing respect to the feelings of others and also respecting, preserving the interests of all others concerned. So what it shows, you're giving respect for others and you're showing courtesy for them there. Yes, that is what you call caring there. Caring is also reflected in activities such as friendship, membership in social clubs and professional societies, and thorough various in the family, fraternity, community, country, and in international concept. So your caring can be seen in various forms. Societies, a club is formed, or your association is formed, a student association, a parents association, yes, a house, a group of ladies association is there, something like that, or maybe through clubs or through social societies are there, community forums are there. Yes, so if you in this way, in all such groups, we can see the caring can be seen. What you call it. That's fine. Next, sharing. What do you mean by sharing? What you call? What do you mean by sharing? Caring is having affection to others or love to others. Sharing is whatever you have, you share with others then. Primarily, caring influences sharing. If you care somebody, you will share definitely. Sharing is a process that describes the transfer of knowledge, experience, commodities, facilities with others. Whatever you are having, you may share your lunch, or you share your food, or you may say share your what you can call notes. You can share your knowledge. You can share your experience. Whatever you are having, you share with others. The transfer should be genuine, legal, positive, voluntary, and without any expectation. You are sharing others. You're not expecting that she should share you. Without any expectation, you help her. That is what you call sharing. That without any expectations from others, you help. That is what you call sharing. Sharing is voluntary and it cannot be driven by force, but motivated successfully through ethical principles. So you cannot say everybody to share. It is voluntary. It comes within. Yes, it comes individually. Somebody may share it. It is not necessary that everyone should share it. It depends on individual. That is it comes by ethics, what you call. In short, sharing is nothing but charity, what you call it. In short, sharing is nothing but charity. For the humanity, sharing is a culture. For human being, naturally we share it. Sometimes you're not having a pen. You might have forgotten to bring a pen. You ask your friend, give me a pen. She will give you. That is what you call sharing. The happiness and wealth are multiplied and the crimes and sufferings are reduced by sharing. If you share it, so you'll be happy. Yes. And what you call, you can avoid the crimes. Yes. Something. It paves the way for peace and obviates militancy. Philosophically, the sharing maximizes the happiness for all the human beings. By the way of sharing, you can live happily. Yes, everyone can live happily, what you call it. Yes, fine. In terms of psychology, the fear, divide, and distrust between the haves and have not will disappear. So some people are not having, they'll come and ask you, you can give them. Definitely they will also be the people who are not having. Yes, the people who are having, if they give it, both can live it happily, what you call. Sharing not only paves the way to prosperity early and easily, and it sustains it. Yes. So the sharing will help you to prosper also, what you call. Yes. That is about your sharing. Yes. Economically speaking, benefits are maximized as there is no wastage or loss, and everybody gets one's needs fulfilled and satisfied. So by sharing, what happened? What you do, you are having extra things, you will share to others. So what happened? Everybody will be helpful, they will be utilized. You are having extra clothes, you will share with somebody else. Those are required with that. So what happened? Everybody's necessities get fulfilled. Commercially speaking, the profit is maximized. Technologically, the productivity and utilizations are maximized by sharing. So what happened? The productivity and utilizations are maximized by sharing. Then the last one is about the differences between caring and sharing. What is caring? It is the it is a process which exhibits the interest and in support for the welfare of others with fairness in all activities among the employees. Whereas sharing is the process of transfer of knowledge, experience, commodities and facilities with others within an without any expectation in return, what you call. That's fine. It can be exhibited in activities such as friendship, family, etc. Whereas caring is feeling for others. Whereas sharing can be exhibited in activities such as sharing facilities like rooms, associations, societies, and so on. Sharing is a charity, what you can call. Yes. So these are the things what we need to discuss in the today's class. So I suppose we have completed all the topics for the today's session. Yes. So we'll wind up with the today's session. Then we'll continue the session in the next class. Maybe your next class will be on Monday, I suppose. Okay. Any other things? Yes, fine.